so we ain't really never had no old money. We got a whole lot of new money, though. Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking, the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Cooking up dope in the pot. We came from nothing to something, nigga. I don't turn nobody with it, turn nobody. All of the gang and they coming to gang. Got me a river to do with my shit. Bad and boozy, bad. Cooking up dope with a boozy. My niggas is sad, move. We got better than 100 round food. My bitch is bad and boozy, bad. Cooking up dope with a boozy. My niggas is sad, move. We got better than 100 round food.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Excited to have you guys with us. Welcome to the Betting News Network, and this is your afternoon BetSpresso. Brought to you by our sponsors at sportsbetting.ag. Today, we're going to give you guys a lot of stuff that you can bet for March Madness. The conference tournaments are kicking off tomorrow. They've been kind of rolling over the weekend, but the Power 5 gets rolling tomorrow. There's a lot you can bet over there and in the NBA. Go check it out with our sponsors at sportsbetting.ag with that QR code right above Mr. Vsauce's head. Got Mr. Shaggy Betts in the house. Got Vsauce in the house. My name's Sweatpan Jesus. Stoked to have you guys here. Thanks for stopping by to finish off your Monday. Hope you're having not too manic of a Monday out there. But lads, how we doing? Ready to rock and roll?
Oh, absolutely. You said it. Conference tournaments getting started. The big ones tomorrow. The small ones in full swing. We got five tickets already punched to the big dance. 2 more happening tonight. It's a great day to be a college hoops fan.
Yeah, a great couple weeks to be a college hoops fan.
It's our time, baby. It's our
Honestly,
time.
it's a good
I don't
time
want to
to be
hear.
college hoops
I don't want to
fan.
hear anything about baseball. All right, baseball doesn't exist until after the Final Four.
That we can
Okay.
agree on, Shaggy. That we can definitely
Care
agree
when
on.
opening day is.
Yeah, and not only is it a good time for college basketball fans, but it's a good time for casuals like me because this is when all the games get interesting and it's the best of the best. And none of these, like what are they called? Butt crack sports or butt crack states? I don't even know anymore.
Ball sack states.
Ball sack states. There
Ball
we
sack
go.
states. Yeah,
Sounds,
for sure.
Sometimes, for some reason, that sounds more horrendous. Ball sack state.
A little bit.
I'm looking forward to finding my beach from last season. Got to find my little Cinderella story that's worth tapping into.
What a sweat for 32 minutes.
It was really fun, Shags, and then it was very quickly
And then the
short-lived.
last 8 minutes.
And then
of
the
ball
tide
game,
came in, and the
going
beach was ruined.
downhill.
The one thing I'll say is if you like dogs in March, take the first half too. Just take the first half too, because
Just in case.
Because
you know
the
what I mean?
beach.
Yeah,
Because of the beach. Indeed.
Right.
Exactly. Excited to have you guys here. Thanks for stopping by. We already got lots of goats in the chat. Thanks for sticking around right here on YouTube. On X, thanks for sorting out your problems. It's been a weird day on Twitter or on X, but they finally figured it out, I think. So if you're watching us on X, thanks for being here. But as always, the best experience is to come watch us on Twitch, twitch.tv/bettingnews. It's free to come tune in over here. You get to chat with our awesome chatters and be involved in the conversation. Nasty Masty, don't you worry. We are going to get into what has been going on in the NFL because it has been a huge day of NFL free agency as the doors open for the NFL free agency period. And a lot of teams wasted negative time. A lot of moves happened yesterday, which we'll talk about them in just a minute, and then we'll jump into the few things that happened today, and then we'll kind of give you guys some thoughts and just kind of our overall ideas about everything that's gone down. There's probably going to be a couple more moves while we're live, chat, so keep us posted if something crazy happens.
Kenny Pickett just got traded.
Whoa!
Wow, see? There you go.
He's a Brown.
Not really.
He's a Brown.
Wow.
Kenny Pickett to the Browns for
Yeesh.
DTR and a 5th rounder, I think is what I saw.
Wow. All right. Browns fans, how we feeling about Kenny Pickett?
Kenny Pickett's season in Cleveland.
Backing up Shadur in Cleveland, I'm assuming.
Sure. Probably. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then we're going to jump into, as Shaggy mentioned, conference championship or conference tournaments. I keep wanting to say conference championships. Conference tournaments. The big ones start. It's like getting there. Same shit. Getting there tomorrow. So specialty announcement though, which we will drop on the timeline a little later. Up Your Units usually is on Tuesday at 4:30 Eastern. But in honor of the conference tournaments getting started early tomorrow, Shaggy and Mr. Colby Marcio will be live for Up Your Units at 11 a.m. Eastern to give you guys a special one in the morning time to get you rocking and rolling for conference tournaments. So
Wake up,
but
Shaq.
Shags, you don't need coffee.
You don't need
coffee.
You don't need coffee. Up your units early on a Tuesday. Club's going up.
On a Tuesday. Yeah, but Shags will give you guys some preliminary thoughts on that in just a little bit to talk about some of his favorites, some of the best tournaments out there. Then we'll jump into the hoops for tonight. There is some college basketball, like you mentioned, some championships and some of the mid-majors. There's a huge NBA slate that V and I will kind of touch on and talk. Maybe Shags has a play in the NBA, possibly.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Now that
I'm
you
sure
say that, maybe I'll find something in the next 20 minutes.
I know you will.
If we're looking, I think another hockey lay might be in the cards. I know I sold the last one, but it's a Monday, and I think we got another shot at taking over Puckett tomorrow, right? Right, puck off.
Oh,
Maybe puck off redemption.
To be fair, Inzy won't be with us tomorrow for Puckett, so we could use the third horseman tomorrow for make it puck off. I'll talk to Betsky, see how he feels.
Well, let's make up we'll cook up a little hockey lay. That'll be my audition tape for Betsky.
All right, yeah, there you go.
I just
gotta
saw
have tape.
That. Josh Dobbs to New England.
Hey, he's got
They're
experience
just
with Mike Vrabel.
Everybody. Checkbook is open in New England.
Well, in honor of that, man, let's just go ahead and jump straight into it. It's the NFL offseason, but the NFL is year-round, and it is the Kings. So you guys know the deal. So this is what happened yesterday. This is from Adam Schefter, obviously. Josh Allen became the richest quarterback in NFL history, resetting the market, which will just keep happening. 6 years, $330 million. I think it was like $250 guaranteed. Congratulations, Josh. You're very handsome. You're good at your job, and you're married to a, really hot woman. Good job, bro. And now you're really rich. Congratulations.
If only you could get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, facts.
Only.
Facts.
If
At least he's got a bunch of money to cry his tears away.
He's just sliding that one in there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Lay up.
Exactly. Yep. But then that was the beginning. That was the first domino of many, many dominoes to follow. DK Metcalf decided to take his talents from one coast to the other. He's now a Pittsburgh Steeler. 5 years, $150 million for DK. Myles Garrett pulled a U-turn and decided, you know what, a lot of money. Sure, I'll play for some shitty Browns team for a couple more seasons and make a shit ton of money. Why not? Devontae Adams goes to the Rams, which I think is a really, really sexy deal. Your Chiefs hold on to Nick Bolton for an extension. That was a nice deal too. Harold Landry goes to the Patriots. Jamie and Sir, you guys can see the rest of them on the screen. Aaron Jones decides to stay in Minnesota. So that was yesterday. We don't have a graphic for what went down today, but I'll just read you guys the couple of big moves that happened, and then we'll kind of gab about our overall thoughts. Sam Darnold has been signed by the Seattle Seahawks. He will be going and playing in Seattle. Geno Smith, obviously, is a Raider now. So those guys kind of chop and change where they're going to be playing. And then there was one more that I want. Oh, Laramie Tunsil just left Houston, is not a Houston Texan anymore, and is now going to be a Washington Commander, which I thought was really interesting. So those are the big ones from today. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is still not – we don't know where Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing. There's a couple of QB slots that are available. We've got a couple of QBs that could be drafted here in the next month or so. But, guys, just from an overall perspective, like which move – I don't know, moved the needle for you the most? Like which move kind of was like, whoa, wow, that's a big deal. Oh, I forgot. Also, Justin Fields is now a Jet. That was the other big one.
For me, it was the move of the Packers signing that big name wide receiver that they signed, that they definitely signed. No, honestly,
that happened, right?
Yeah, that definitely happened. No, instead we paid another lineman. He's obviously good, and a cornerback to put on a secondary that needs some much needed help, right? Like that was our biggest weakness last year on defense. But in terms of moving the needle, I think the Myles Garrett move is got to be one of the biggest moves that we've seen. I wasn't expecting it with the $40 million in terms of just money, but yeah, now they've got a couple of pieces there. You draft a good QB, and let's pretend like Cam Ward or Shadur Sanders pans out the way fans are hoping and everybody's expecting them to. I mean, the Browns could compete. You bring back Nick Chubb next year if he's back to full health. That was something that Myles Garrett mentioned in his deal that he wanted them to work on, bringing back Nick Chubb. So, oh, wow. That's big too.
That just happened.
I think like the Browns, yes, probably perennial losers. But in terms of keeping their talent and kind of walking that deal back, I think it was a big move for them.
Yeah. weird situation. I mean,
Mhm.
obviously money talks, and I'm sure that
Mhm.
I was very surprised that he ended up
Jerry
staying.
Judy said it. He's like, I was not expecting Miles Garrett to come back, but I'm very happy he's back.
Sure. I'm just
What
looking
about
up
you,
this news.
Shaggy? What do you think?
Dude, I mean Devontae Adams to the Rams, I think is definitely interesting. Just opening up the next domino of where's Cooper Cup gonna fall? Who's gonna take a stab at that guy? So I think that's very interesting. I think that's gonna be just another dangerous whiteout pairing. Puka and Adams just maybe as dangerous, if not more, than Puka and Cup were. But I think that's very interesting to see where Cup's going to go because
'Cause-
I think it's very clearly he's not going to sign back with LA now. So
Yeah.
I got no idea. Cooper
What
Cup,
about the
you are
Brock
Kansas
Purdy
City
deal?
Chiefs.
The Brock Purdy deal, the one deal that hasn't gotten done yet. 45
Yeah.
million. I understand that we all talked about this and him not getting paid the money and him kind of fumbling his bag near the end of that season.
Mhm.
But come on, 45 million? That's less than Tua, less than Kyler, less than Sam Darnold. I mean, that's kind of disrespectful. This guy won you a conference championship game, took you to the Super Bowl, and I think it was James Jones that said this. But he's like, if they had won that game against the Chiefs, he was the Super Bowl MVP, right? Like he was the guy that got it done.
Definitely.
45 million feels like a little bit disrespectful. You guys agree with that? What do you think they, work on a deal here? Do you think it's buyer's remorse with the Ayuk deal last year?
I'd play football
Could
for
be.
45 million.
True. I would too.
Would you?
But
But if you were better than Kyler Murray, would you pay for a dime less than he's getting paid in Arizona?
I don't know. You're right. That's tough.
Right?
Well, this is the age old conversation about like the current contract situations of like there's a lot of guys and you look at their contract like if you take it out of football context you just go wow you're getting paid that much money to play football that's cool, but obviously every market exists for a reason like there is levels to it so I think that he should get paid more money than that. But I mean this is the thing about getting a rookie quarterback and you get them on their rookie deal and then you can kind of maybe before the market explodes, you can find that hole in the situation. So I don't know, man. I like Brock Purdy, and I think that he gets a lot of slander for no reason. But just to read you guys' chat, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this already. But Charvarius Ward, 3-year contract of max value of $60 million is now going to be an Indianapolis Colts or an Indianapolis Colt, which I hate that as a Titans fan, but. Yeah, I think I agree with you. The Devontae Adams one is really interesting because now you go from a guy who Cooper Kupp is obviously a great, one of the best when he's fully healthy. He's still one of the better wide receivers in football. But Adams is a whole other beast, and I think he's still got some gas in the tank.
Definitely.
Does age concern you? 33, 34 this year. He's going to be 36, I believe, playing on that last year of his contract.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of money. He's getting paid more money than some big names.
I think that this is their front office saying by bringing Stafford back and then by getting a guy like Devontae Adams, this is them saying like this is our last window of this iteration of this roster that we're going to try to win a Super Bowl. Because I mean, think about it. They almost beat the Eagles in the playoffs and they almost went to the conference championship game. They were like one play away. So I think the way that all went down, especially like Stafford deciding, you know what, let's run it back and do it again. I think they don't mind Devontae Adams is a little bit older because he hasn't really had any big injury problems over the last couple of years. He maybe missed a game here and there with some minor tissue stuff, but I mean I think he's still explosive. And if you put him on the other side of Cooper Kupp, he's gonna have CB2s on him. I don't want a CB2 guarding Devontae Adams. So I think it's a good situation. It's gonna be very interesting to see Sean McVay craft up some stuff for those guys, especially Tyler Higbee's no slouch either in there. So I think that one was the best one that kind of stood out to me. I'm actually really interested what it's going to look like Justin Fields in New York. I know that Justin Fields is still only 26 years old, guys. Like he's still a young quarterback in the NFL, and he's obviously had his moments and had his very bad moments, but like Justin Fields played with Garrett Wilson at Ohio State. They got Braylon Allen, and they've got Breece Hall in the backfield. That's a three-headed monster of runners back there that you got to deal with. and then you got Wilson. I think their offense is going to be fun, and I'm interested to kind of see if we can see Justin Fields maybe in his now third stop make some noise.
I'm very interested in that too, because we've heard Garrett Wilson. He's had really good things to say about Justin Fields in interviews and things like that. And I think it's more interesting too because of who took the head coaching job. Aaron Glenn, right? This is a guy who has been coaching the defense in Detroit for a while now. He's been there watching Justin Fields in his career progression in Chicago, game planned against him, seeing his intangibles, and honestly, maybe he likes what he sees. And now, what was one of the first moves he's made now in free agency with the New York Jets? It's bringing in a big name QB that's had a lot of talk around him. Maybe not the best conversations people have been having, but again, like you said, 26 years old, really a lot of potential, both athletically and I think the arm strength is there. The accuracy just hasn't really followed. And I think that maybe if they can do anything, why not try it out with this iteration of the team? You got Breece Hall, like you said, you got Garrett Wilson and some good young names and a defense that can really hold their own. And now a defensive-minded head coach to lead that team. So it could be some fun.
What have we seen over the past 2 or 3 seasons in the NFL? In a lot more than what we've seen in the past of quarterbacks that were tossed for scraps get to come back. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, who we just saw got over a $100 million contract, was tossed for scraps. These types of players that don't fit in one system, don't pan out as hype draft picks, have to kind of go and jump around a little bit, learn the systems, and then they're still in their prime of 26, 27 years old, and they're on their third stop, and people are like, that guy's washed. And it's like, well, I don't know. We'll see.
Kirk Cousins is another example from a long time ago before he went to the Vikings.
So, yeah, just interested to see kind of how that plays out. Because, I thought he always got the short end of the stick in Chicago just because Chicago was so bad. But
tough place to thrive. That's for sure.
Yeah,
they don't even have any options. I know they brought in DJ Moore for that last year, but you get 1 year with DJ Moore. They both put up good numbers, and then you ship Fields out the new way, bring in a whole new offense, and the guy to bring in the backfield. It was gross.
Can we all agree on this point? Which I don't know. Maybe we won't agree on this. But if you had to choose right now, first of all, you're going to get Justin Fields at a discount in comparison to these other two players. But if you had to pick one, if you have a franchise and you don't have a quarterback, do you want to roll with this season for pure upside, Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, or Justin Fields?
Probably Darnold, to be honest.
After what we saw last year, I'd have to go with Darnold. Yeah. I understand the play.
For $150 million, though?
I was going to say, I'd get the discount with Fields. From an ownership GM perspective, you might take a stab at Fields. But, because the guy's got athletic ability, clearly. It just has not worked out so far in the league. Is that going to happen in New York? I don't know. I think it's good that he's back with a college teammate. I think that's already starting off on a positive note. And you've got decent skill players around him, but
not only a college teammate, but a electric college teammate that has turned into a very good pro as well. Right. So you get kind of that 1-2 punch too.
Yeah. Speaking of the Jets, what about Mr. Ayahuasca? Where is he going? Is he going to Pittsburgh? Is that happening? Because that's what it's looking like.
That's what it's looking like.
I think it's going to be them or the Giants, honestly.
That's what it's looking like. The Giants?
Really?
I
think Pittsburgh makes the most sense.
Yeah.
You think then the Giants settle with Russell Wilson? You think they bring him in then?
Apparently, there was some rumblings that Tennessee's a little interested in Russell Wilson, which I don't hate that, to be honest. But before we cap this off, we can spend the rest of the show kind of gabbing about this stuff. We got plenty of time to talk NFL offseason, but a lot happened today, so we thought we'd bring it up for you guys. Fam asked me this. We actually talked about it. I can't remember if it was last week or the week before, but I'm getting excited about the Titans having the number 1 pick. But there's been a lot of movement around. Obviously, they got rid of Harold Landry, and they signed a left tackle from Pittsburgh last year. Overpaid him a little bit, but that's just how it is nowadays with paying tackles. Apparently there's been rumblings that Cam Ward is viewed as the possible pick from the Titans. Like, there's a lot of people saying that he is liked inside the building and that he's the one that they're going to roll with. And I'm just going to say this, and I said this, Bill Carter would be my pick if I had to choose, like, between them, right? But if they go with Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, or Travis Hunter, any three of those guys, I'm cool with it. because that is a huge hole that needs to be filled on this roster, and I think all three of those players have the potential to be blue chip players in the NFL. Carter and Hunter are a little bit higher for me in comparison, but if they like Ward, then it'd be what it do. So that was my thoughts on that. Fam asked me to kind of talk about it or trade back a couple picks. If the best ideal situation for me would be they trade back 2 or 3 picks, allow the Browns to draft Ward, someone else to get Sanders maybe, and then you get Carter and you get like an additional first rounder or something. That would be sick. But yeah.
I think you got to fill the gap in at quarterback eventually here, man. You got to give it a shot at some point. And I understand Cam Ward. I'm going to stand on this hill, and I want it to be known as much as possible. I'm either going to look like a bozo or I'm going to look super smart. But I think Shedeur Sanders is going to be a good NFL quarterback. I think he has the intangibles. I think he's got the DNA, quite literally. And I think that he did a lot with a lot less than we've seen a lot of these other college prospects do. Everyone else we're talking about played for elite teams and elite programs with storied history, like Abdul Carter, whether it's Cam Ward at Miami. This is the only guy that played with the Buffaloes, and honestly, they did choke at the end in Kansas, and a lot of that was him, but they wouldn't even be in that position to win that playoff game if it wasn't for his play at QB, right? I think he's going to be a viable NFL starting QB, and I just wanted that to be on record.
Oh, it's on record. Don't worry.
Yeah, you've said it quite a few times. I think we can all agree, though, that Jackson Dart's not getting drafted over any of those guys. So that I hope that.
Like, could he?
Oh, where's the tinfoil hat? Where is it?
Hello. There might be some Jackson Dart stands on this panel.
Do you think you should get drafted over both of those guys?
I am not gonna say those words.
Is this the guy from Duke or BYU? No,
Ole Miss.
Even after he sold your fucking season's win total after his play last year.
The words I will say, I think Jackson Dart might be a better pro than those two.
I don't hate that take.
I don't think he should be drafted over him, but he might be the better pro. That's all I'm gonna say. I said it for him, though.
I said it that I really think that the Titans, any of the top 2 or 3 teams, unless you're absolutely in love with the quarterback, just get the best player because the quarterback's draft next season is pretty sick. So, yeah, let's wait till next year. But, all right, that's some NFL action. We got a lot more basketball to get to. So, NFL, back to where you belong in the offseason. Chat, let us know if anything happens in the next 45 minutes while we're live because I'm sure another move will happen probably in the next 35 minutes as they have been rolling through today. I could barely keep up with what was going on.
Can I start the college basketball talk with a question for Shaggy? Because now on BetOnline, Bovada, all of our partners at Sports Betting AG, Cooper Flag's next year team, the favorite right now over the Charlotte Hornets is Duke. Is there any chance this kid stays in college next year and plays for Duke? Does it matter who gets the first overall pick? Like, you know him better than we do. Watching him, like, does it matter if it's the Wizards, Hornets? Like, those are the 2 worst teams in the league. Who else could you not want to play for?
If Cooper Flag has people around him that care about him, which he does, they're going to tell him to go to the NBA and sign that check and get that money to play basketball and develop in the pros where he already is. I would I get there's talk of him going back to Duke. I get there's the whole NIL money now, but you're not going to make, he's going to make his NBA signing bonus with NIL money, maybe that much. NBA money is crazy. There is so much that could go wrong in that final season of his. He's already basically guaranteed that number 1 overall pick. That is so much money compared to being drafted anywhere else down the line. If he goes another year in college, he could, God forbid, get injured. He could drop out of the lottery, out of the first round. Who knows how far the kid might drop. So I think the guy just goes straight to the NBA. He's clearly ready. He played against pros in the summer and hung with them well. Go to the league, make your money, and develop there. So
that's what makes sense to me too.
It's my opinion, but
I thought I'd ask. Yeah,
it is crazy that Duke is the betting favorite now. That's wild.
I asked Shags this a couple weeks
Everything is
ago.
plus money, but they are the favorite.
Fair,
technically.
Sure. All right. Well, obviously, Cooper Flag and Duke are going to be in action over the next week or so as the ACC tournament gets rolling. Shaggy and Colby wrote a conference preview of every single of the major conferences today for you guys at bettingnews.com. They're free. Go peep the scribbles from the Up Your Units lads to see kind of where their heads are at for these tournaments. They are going to be live, like I said, at 11 a.m. tomorrow to give you guys kind of a full breakdown. But Shag, since you're here with us now, which one of these tournaments are you the most excited about? And then just give us some Shaggy juice about what's about to happen over the next 5 days.
I'm most excited, I would say, for the SEC, just because you have not only multiple national title contenders, but I mean, really anyone can take that tournament, 1 through 8 seed probably. That one's just out in the open. I only have one bet in that tournament, which you'll hear about tomorrow. But the SEC very wide open. Not very pumped for the ACC. ACC is going to be very boring. It's Duke or nobody. Duke is a minus 350 favorite to win that tournament for a reason. They're that much better than everybody else in that tournament. So SEC is going to be a gauntlet. Very pumped for that. Excited for the Big 12, obviously being in Kansas City. And, Big 12 is always competitive. SEC is always competitive. Big 10 is going to be very competitive this year, I think, as well. I think that one, probably any of the top 7 or 8 teams, 7, not Indiana, 7, top 7 teams in the Big 10 can take that tournament as well. So it's a great day to be a college sports fan, man. I'm just pumped for it all. It's all gonna happen really soon.
Next month's gonna be fun. They're gonna talk about it, like I said, all for Up Your Units tomorrow. All week there'll be mentions of the conference tournaments. Before we kind of move on and talk about tonight specifically, which one of all of the tournament future bets that you have locked in so far? I know you don't do favorites, but is there one that you really like for the value that you're getting on a team that you feel like can really make some noise in one of these tournaments?
Yeah, definitely. I took the Iowa State Cyclones to win the Big 12. I found them at 8-1.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, Houston's a minus 105 favorite to win that tournament. The problem is they probably only have to win a couple games to get that, to guarantee that 1 seed, maybe even 1 game. There's teams that are feistier below them that have a lot more to play for in terms of seeding. In my mind, Iowa State being one of those teams. Iowa State, a team that when healthy, they can compete with anyone. They've dropped down in the rankings a little bit, dropped down in the Big 12 seedings, dropping a few games just because of injuries. Now back at full strength. They're the 5th seed, but the 3rd betting favorite in this tournament. I think 8-1's fantastic. Iowa State, the fans always travel well. T-Mobile Center pretty much is Hilton Coliseum South during the Big 12 tournament. Iowa State Cyclones flock down. It's basically a home game. So I like the Cyclones. They won this tournament last year. They compete in it every year. So give me Iowa State at 8-1 was too hard to pass up. That's for sure.
You've liked them quite a lot this season. You've mentioned them quite a few times with adoring eyes.
When they are healthy, they can compete with anyone. And Crutch, I'm glad you have faith in the Jayhawks, man, but I don't see it.
Yeah. That's one of those situations where you can just be happy as a Jayhawks fan in your heart if that happens,
Exactly.
Versus losing.
Exactly.
Well, as I mentioned, massive week. The guys will be going live in the morning to talk about all the conference tournaments, so be sure to set your alarms and be there in the AM. It's a little different schedule time, so look out for the tweet for that later today. Before we move on and talk about tonight too, I will be actually going to one of the SEC championship games on Wednesday, or sorry, the SEC tournament games. I keep doing that. I'm going to the Vanderbilt Texas game, which should be fun. So I'll be posting some pictures and some content from that on Wednesday, and then and Shaggy will be. Can I say where you're going to be?
Sure, yeah, go for it.
Okay, Shaggy's going to be in Vegas from Wednesday to Friday, watching some college basketball action and giving you guys the vibes from Sin City. So you'll get some content from. Yeah, you'll get some content.
You guys go find him. Go find him and bother him and make him bet some parlays with you guys.
Yeah, come find me.
Can I get one picture of Shaggy bets in this what is it, the swim casino, or what is it called?
So Stadium Swim.
Stadium swim. I need one
Uh,
picture of
the-
beer,
dude,
one
the-
beer in hand, the other with the ticket. That's all I
The
need.
weather is going to be shitty, actually. It's going to be
Oh, that
rainy on
sucks.
Thursday. It's actually going to be nicer in KC. It's going to be like 75 and sunny in KC. It's going to be like 60 and rainy in Vegas. So
Yeah,
this
well,
is what it is. We're
just
going
go
to be inside at a sports book anyway.
yeah, just go sit inside in the sports book and knock some
Exactly.
beverages and enjoy. So
Facts.
good stuff, man. Well, great time to be alive. March is here. They'll be following it. Go, like I said, go peep the scribbles, guys. They're all there. All the conference champions, all the conference stuff is available at bettingnews.com. There's going to be lots more. We're going to be opening up our bracket challenge very soon too. For all of you guys that did it with us last year, it's free to get involved. So, to be fair, Vulture Mafia, it's not PTO.
Yeah,
still
I
be
don't
You'll still be
have
working.
PTO. I have 0 PTO days actually.
Yeah, actually, absolutely. It's work and enjoy the work, and then dip out and I don't bother him. He sends me
Everything that
beer
is
pictures.
related to sports or gambling now is a work trip.
Life
That's
of a
just how it works
contractor.
now. Everything that we do that pertains to anything to do with degeneracy or sports is
That's
now.
what I
work.
told my wife. So
I tell my wife that all the time, and she can hear me right now. So
sorry,
I think they've all-
babe. I'm working this game. You know, it's about to go to
in
overtime.
Vegas for the 4th time this year. What do you mean work trip?
Chicago was a work trip. Okay.
Yeah,
That was
was
definitely a work trip.
Well, yeah, sure.
Definitely.
I can't believe
work
that
trip.
video has reappeared on my timeline.
I saw that. And I was
I'm
just like,
glad he brought
SPJ.
it back. I love it. That was awesome.
I'll never live that down.
You guys want to see what SPJ looked like when he saw that on the timeline? It was this.
Yep. The disappointment. I was
You were
reliving.
You were so happy in the first half too.
I was the only one there. There was a Titans fan.
I know.
Every single person was talking so much smack to you too. It was crazy, man.
In the second half.
Something good happens and
It was
it's
so
silent,
funny.
and then you see one guy. Yes. Will Levis, come on!
And not even that, but he's like sitting right at the front where the TVs are. And every time he stands up, it's like 7 feet tall, slender man cheering for the Titans. Like, you know what I
Hey,
mean?
down in front.
And then I had to watch it all crush, and then all the Bears fans around me just got to live their lives and love it. It was
Kobe's not even a Bears fan. That was the worst part of the whole.
That was
like,
the worst part. That was
What
the
a
worst part of the whole
time.
experience. It was. We'll do it again.
Time to be alive.
We'll do it again soon. All right, let's jump into some bets for you guys tonight. We've got some basketball out there in the, and again, we've got some hockey that we'll touch on. I don't actually have any hockey, so I'll lab while you guys are talking. But let's talk about the basketball first. Shag, do you want to take it away and give us the college, and then we'll jump into the NBA after that?
Yes, sir. Because I apparently actually have a game going off right now. It just started, actually. The Corpus Christi
Oh.
Islanders -3.5. Get them live as they take down Northwestern State. Already beat this team once during the regular season. Won by 9 at home as 8.5-point favorites. Now on a neutral site, laying the 3.5. Plain and simple, they are the better team here. Third in the conference in adjusted efficiency on both sides of the ball. They limit offensive rebounds, get to the free throw line plenty, and lead the conference in 2-point percentage. The Demons of Northwestern State, very, very slow. They're 9th offensively overall, 11th to turnovers allowed. Plain and simple, Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, the better team here. Love the -3.5. Like I said, just tipped off, so maybe go snag it live. They're down 3-0 right now, actually. Down 3-0. You can probably get a sick money line. Corpus Christi Islanders take us home. That's what we got.
That's the only one.
For starters.
Forgot.
For starters.
For starters.
For
Okay.
starters.
For starters.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like this other one a little more though. So
Well, that's good. Well, chat, go get that one live.
yeah, go get that one right now. I definitely thought that was 5:30, but they're down 5-0. They're down 5-0. You can get a live money line at -110. Chat, go get the Islanders.
Take it right now, because who doesn't love yelling Corpus Christi up and down the living room for an hour and a half, right?
Exactly. Hey, you know what's better than yelling Corpus Christi though? Bobby Moe. Give me Robert
baby.
Morris. Robert Morris, the Colonials, -3.5 as well against the Oakland Grizzlies in the Horizon League semifinals. Double revenge spot for Oakland. Double revenge spot. Lost to Bobby Moe twice, but that's because Bobby Moe is just that good. They're coming off an incredible game against Wright State. Ran them out of the gym. Bobby Moe, second in the Horizon League in defensive efficiency, lead the conference in EFG defense as well. They're not the sexiest offense. All right, I'll admit it. But they crash the glass and they get to the free throw line. Top 40 nationally in each. If you do those two things, good things happen. Oakland, they're going to want to slow things down. They're 11th in the conference in turnovers allowed and 299th in offensive rebounds allowed to opponent. Bobby Moe is the better team here, and they are running this thing all the way to the big dance because the Colonials are going to March Madness. You heard it here first, folks. Bobby Moe, win that Horizon League and go dancing, but cover the 4 tonight against Oakland.
Is there an actual nickname, Bobby Moe, or did you make that up?
I have always called him Bobby Moe. It's probably not, but
that is no. It's
it's Robert Morris. What else are you gonna get from it? It's Bobby Moe, man.
It's Bobby Moe, baby. No, I love it. I love it.
Bobby Moe, the Colonials -3.5. The money line's I think still like -150-ish on one book. So, like, that's a playable number 2 if you don't like the 3.5. But
this game starts at 6. Okay.
Yeah, this one is at 6. This one's in 53 minutes.
Yeah. Well, leg number 1 of the parlay of the day is Robert Morris money line. Bobby Moe. Bobby Moe,
baby.
Bobby Moe, ML. All right. That's it, right? You got a lot of college basketball coming over the next 5 or 6 days. So
yeah, that's all I got today. I will say I looked at the Wofford Furman over. The SoCon final, actually, both teams playing to punch their ticket in the big dance. I was worried because I went a little tinfoil hat on this one. Both of the earlier meetings both went over. We saw 139, it went over. We saw 142, and that went over. And now this total back down to 137. Both offenses should be there. Wofford's a little bit on the slower side, while the Paladins will push the pace. But I got a little scared with it just being a championship game too. A little more motivating for defenses to really come to play. Even though the Wofford shooters are very, very good, but stayed off of that one, so it'll probably hit. So Wofford Furman over.
I love when you lab something like that, feel really good about it, and then don't lock it in, and it's easy money.
Exactly. Yeah.
But at least you gave the people the analysis. Chat, if you guys like it, go bet it.
Yeah. It stayed on the lean sheet. It's over there on the lean sheet.
One more question for you. Last game of the night, Gonzaga and the Dons. You like the Dons at all? 14.5 feels like a lot of points for a championship game.
Feels like a lot of points. Not a championship game.
Is it not the championship game?
Not a championship game. That's just that's I believe is that semifinals.
Oh yeah,
semifinal.
St. Mary's. Right?
Yeah. Pepperdine and St. Mary's the other one. So I mean, it's a lot of points. I saw something that Gonzaga has. Jay Diddle's got it actually.
I mean, with my minimal knowledge, that plus 14.5 for the Dons looks tasty.
It's a lot of point. Gonzaga, and as much as it pains me to say this, Gonzaga has looked good when they haven't played teams named St. Mary's. So the Dons are going to fight. I saw something that Gonzaga's won like 32 meetings in a row against San Francisco. I'd have to look that up to see if that's accurate, but I would believe it because they just dominate the WCC. So 14.5 seems like a lot. The Dons will be able to cover it if they don't get sped up to Gonzaga's pace, because Gonzaga is want to just zip up and down the floor because they have more weapons, bigger bodies that can handle a shootout. San Francisco, not the case. Rely more on their defense. They're going to have to just slow themselves down offensively. Even if Gonzaga's getting those quick buckets, you got to not get sped up, play your game, run your offense, and make sure you get a good look, or else you're just wasting those extra possessions that Gonzaga would give you. So I lean with San Francisco. If you made me bet it, I would probably take the 14.5. And, because everybody likes to fade Gonzaga too. Had enough of that team.
All right. I just wanted to know the answer because that one was the one that was like speaking to me a little bit. V, did you have any questions for any of these games tonight, or shall we jump into the NBA?
Not in the college slate. I'm saving all those ones for the madness.
All right. Fair enough. Makes sense.
Hey, chat, the Islanders are down 12-2. All right, 4 minutes into the ball game.
Now is really the time to take them.
Don't lose hope. But, hey, I liked him at 3.5. I really like him at whatever they're catching right now.
If you like the 3.5, boy, have I got a deal for you.
Hey, it's
Yeah,
15
for
to
real.
4. We're only down 11 now. Come on.
Hey, man, that's literally how you get value sometimes in those situations. Like sick value. Good shit. All right, Bobby Moe, first
Bobby
leg for the
Moe.
parlay. Bobby Moe.
Come on, Bobby Moe. Colonials. Take us home.
All right, let's swing now and talk about the professionals. With the in the NBA tonight, huge slate. I'll let V kind of kick us off. I have 4 plays. I'll go quickly through mine. They're all RAs, but I'll let V lead us off. What's the moves for you tonight, brother?
I got a bunch of plays. First, I'm starting with old reliable right here. Dyson Daniels, over 20.5 points and assists. This guy has just been absolutely fantastic this season, doing a lot and with a whole, like not in a whole bunch. He's playing close to 35 minutes per game now over the last 20 games, and he's putting up 15.5 points per game and just over 5 assists per game. The thing that intrigues me the most is if you're looking at his passing numbers. He's averaging just under 54 passes, or sorry, just under 52 passes per game, which is just 3 passes fewer than Trae Young. The ball is consistently moving when it's in Daniel's hand, and it's not for like no reason. He's good at finding his teammates. Oftentimes, maybe the Hawks aren't as good at finishing like plays or getting the bucket, but Dyson Daniels is averaging just under 10 potential assists over those last 20 games as well. And I think that this is another good spot against a Philly team that has really given up a lot of points all year. They rank 29th in field goal percentage allowed, 28th, I believe, or 27th in three-point percentage allowed. It's just been bad across the board. The only reason they don't give up more points is because their pace of play is so slowed down with the beat-up roster. A guy like Dyson Daniels should take advantage of this matchup. They rank 29th in points allowed to point guards and really have not had an answer defensively. Daniels also leads this team in points in the paint with Jalen Johnson now out. And I think tonight this is a spot where he really tries to take advantage of them at the cup. So give me Daniels over 20.5 points and assists.
Your wagon. Or one of your wagons. You've been riding him quite consistently. But
And then I'm taking another wagon, SPJ, a wagon that you've also taken pretty consistently. Maybe not over the last few games, but Malik Monk over 6.5 assists, apparently, because that's how I spell. Plus 130 for this line here. We're getting a good line for Malik because of the fact that he's coming back from injury. He's been out for the last 3 games for this Kings team with a left toe sprain, but he will be back in the lineup tonight. Don't expect any restrictions just because it was just a little small hiatus. The Kings are 8-6 since the Levine trade. 4 of those games have now come without Sabonis, and 3 of those games have come without Malik Monk. This team is kind of finding their footing. They're averaging 118 points per game in those games with Levine. And I think that this is a team that could fight for a play-in spot, maybe a late 6th or 7th or 8th seed. I'm not exactly sure where they're going to finish, but the offense has been better. Hopefully Sabonis makes it back healthy. But without him this season, we don't have a lot of games with Monk, but if you look at just their last game, he played just 23 minutes before he left with injury. He had 8 assists in just 23 minutes and had 17 points in just 23 minutes. He's a guy that has had a fantastic season. Not only is he now starting for this team, but he's taken over as this team's point guard. You have a guy like Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Malik Monk on this lineup against a Knicks team that ranks 29th in 30th in three-point percentage allowed. They just let the Clippers shoot 40% from 3 the other night, and they've got 3 more road games here on the West Coast before they head home. They have no more Jalen Brunson. We saw the lack of scoring in the last game, only scoring 95 points with JB out of the lineup. Prayers up to him. Hope he has a speedy recovery. But right now, the offense looks anemic. And I do think that this is a spot where we're going to see Malik Monk come in and take advantage. He had 9 assists against this Knicks team earlier this year. Honestly, I think it was just about 6 weeks ago. I think he's another good spot once again today. And this high-flying shooting Kings offense should put up a lot of points today.
Last game of the night, Monk coming back into this offense. Still no Sabonis, like you mentioned, too. He's still out, so there's the potential assist that will go that direction. Although Valanciunas has been awesome. We talked about him some on Sox Team on Sunday. But anything else?
That's all for me today. I got a couple more plays I might put out on the timeline, maybe a little parlay, but some sides. I'm on the Kings plus 2.5. I think, honestly, they win outright tonight. I do like that one. And then another one that I was looking at, since you have asked, SPJ, I really like this spot here for the, where is it? No, sorry, the Orlando Magic plus 4.5. I think that this Houston Rockets team is going to be reeling a little bit after back-to-back wins in New Orleans. They've got Amen Thompson now out of the lineup, and honestly, he might be out for an extended period. I think this defense really started to rely on him, both defensively and offensively. And the Magic are honestly a really good team that have been playing very, very badly. I think Paolo and Franz come in and get the job done tonight. I also think that they could upset.
Nice. 2 dogs, not super heavy dogs, but very tasty dogs. Big slate tonight, and we're getting to the point of the season where, these games, like for the Hawks, for example, the Kings, both teams you talked about, these are starting to be, every win's mattering now, especially in that back half of the Western Conference, especially with how deep it is trying to make those play-in spots, or even avoid the play-in spots. So, all right, I have 4, and I'll go quickly. All 4 of them are RAs. I'm going kind of back to my bread and butter, because if you guys have noticed over the past week to 10 days, like there has been some flirting with triple-double performances or triple-double performances from a lot of players, because at this particular stretch of the season, like we've talked about, this is when you're really pushing, man. And that usually shows up, maybe not always in the points department, but it shows up with grabbing some extra rebounds, facilitating to your teammates, and playing in closer games, which also helps with props. So the first one, I've been betting this guy quite consistently. I bet him the last time we were all together, and he smacked. And I'm going straight back to it because I don't understand why they keep setting this line here. So give me Davion Mitchell over 7.5 rebounds and assists. Minus 115 is the line I got for this. He's hit this in 5 straight games as a starter for the Miami Heat. Miami is another team that is competing to stay in that Eastern Conference spot where they are in the playoffs right now. Mitchell has been awesome, playing about 35 minutes a game since he came over to this team against this Hornets team that are pretty bad defensively in most areas, but not great in rebounds and not great in assists allowed. He hit this in his last game against the Hornets. That was with the Raptors. But again, the way he's been facilitating the basketball, running this offense, and with the scores they have, with how well Bam's been playing, with how obviously Tyler Hero can shoot the basketball, I really like the 7.5 line. You can also take his assists for plus money if you don't want to rely on the rebounds, but he's a good rebounding guard too. Kind of just out there to do a little bit of everything and properly run this Heat offense. So first one for me is Davion, kind of set and forgetting this until they move this line or until he kind of shits the bed, which I don't really see happening. So I love this one a lot. Next one, we're going back to this Western Conference, possible Western Conference Finals preview that we got on Sunday. We're getting the second iteration of it as the Denver Nuggets are taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, I took this on Sunday, but I didn't tweet it out, so I didn't hey, yay, green check marks on this play. But I love it again. I got a great line on this too. Going back to, you could go with Shea if you want. You can go with Jokic if you want. It's always interesting when these teams play in these back-to-back games, so you never know if it's just going to be a rinse and repeat situation. But for me in this one, I don't think this is not an outlier. Jalen Williams over 11.5 rebounds and assists. The line was 9.5 on Sunday, and he absolutely smacked it. Almost had a triple-double in that game. Again, set this line, forget it, and I'm not going to overthink it. If you're giving me plus money for a guy who just had almost a triple-double in a game that really mattered for this team, not going to overthink it. You can get the 10.5 for a playable number if you'd rather take that. I got plus money earlier today because I want to play for the plus sign with the one more RA because I think he can maybe flirt with the triple-double again. He just had 9 rebounds and 8 assists in the last game, and he's hit this line in 3 of his last 4 against the Nuggets, flirting with triple-doubles in every single one of those games. So not overthinking it. Give me the plus money for Jalen Williams. I think we should get another banger tonight, even though it is a 9-point spread between the Thunder and the Nuggets. Next one is in the same game. Probably the game of the night. We shall see, with 2 teams that still need to keep winning in that deep, deep Western Conference. The Memphis Grizzlies hosting the Phoenix Suns. 2 teams that I've been enjoying watching and that I've been enjoying betting on over the past 10 days or so. The first one is one that I bet on already, with kind of riding my wagon here, that I pitched to you guys before as well. Another RA, give me Desmond Bane. Over 12.5 rebounds and assists. Again, this line doesn't really make any sense to me. I got plus money to start the day. It is not plus money anymore. It's like minus 110, minus 115. Still like it there, obviously. Desmond Bane's been flirting with triple-doubles for the past 2 weeks, almost every single game. There's been maybe a couple outlier games where he's not getting close to this number, but he just had 9 rebounds and 8 assists against the Pelicans. He's coming off 16 rebounds and 6 assists in his previous game versus the Dallas Mavericks. He's hit this line in 4 of his last 5 games. And the great thing about this is that when he smacks this, it soars. So he could hit this line with maybe rebounds. He had 14 assists the last time he played against. Let me just double check that this is right. Sorry, that was the previous game. He actually hasn't hit this line in 5 straight games against the Suns. But with how he's been playing recently, I'm just going to keep riding this wagon. And I really think that tonight Desmond Bane's going to show up once again and get over this RA line of 12.5. Last one, same game. On the other side, the other superstar. Give me Kevin Durant, over 10.5 rebounds and assists. Now, again, this is not a play where it's like, wow, he's been so awesome in his career against the Grizzlies specifically. But if you guys have been watching the Suns and you've been hearing what Kevin Durant's been saying, I think that he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder right now to carry this team. He's kind of fed up with the way that they're being talked about in the media. He's been playing like it. He's been hitting the glass. He's had 9 rebounds and 9+ rebounds in 3 of his last 4 games. He's hit this RA in 4 straight games, and he's hit this RA in 3 of his last 4 games against the Grizzlies. All of those games, or 2 of those last 3, being this season. His last game against them at the end of November, at the end of February, he had 8 rebounds and 7 assists. So, not overthinking it. Give me the plus money once again for Kevin Durant over 10.5 RA for plus 120. So 4 RAs from me. Going back to kind of my bread and butter, my favorite prop market to bet on. So I really like KD. I really like Bane. I really like Davion Mitchell, and I really like Jalen Williams. So there we go.
Thank you for always reminding me about Davion Mitchell, because that's somebody I often forget to bet, and he has been electric over the last few games. His playtime, his usage, and everything else. I think he is a great bet. You took the RA, right? You said?
Yeah, I like the PRA too. So was kind of when we've talked about this over the last 2 weeks or so, the PRA has been nice as well. But my favorite part of his game is his facilitating on this team right now with watching this Heat team. So I just like relying on that one the most. But he can score. Also great defensively, so he can get some easy buckets, like with some steals and stuff like that too, especially against this Hornets team that likes to throw the ball away for fun. So I don't hate the PRA if you want to go that route, V, but I like the RA at 7.5.
Wizards team, right?
No, they're paying the Hornets tonight.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, sorry. I was looking at yes, they are. That's the mixed up the red logos with the Raptors.
Yeah. Well, they also used to play for the Raptors, and they're playing the Wizards, so there's that too. Cool. All right, there's some NBA for you, Shags. We gave you a decent amount an opportunity there. Did you find an NBA bet that you like?
Oh no, I'm gonna be smart and see my 0-6 record on my last 6 NBA bets, and I might retire for the season. I might officially announce the NBA retirement for the season, but we don't know. We don't want to close that door.
Hey man, when the playoffs come around, it's pretty fun to lay some playoff bets. Kind of like how we like betting March Madness. You can get involved. I'll
be itching
NBA
for some
playoffs.
basketball. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Alrighty, let's cook the parlay and then let's get out of here. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us for the last almost hour on your afternoon BetSpresso. Thanks for being here. If this is your first time tapping in, give us a follow on any of the social medias that you are watching us right now. All right, lads. Shaggles, I've got the what is it? Bobby Moe.
Bobby Moe
money line.
Give me Bobby Moe.
All right, Bobby Moe, for show, Bobby Moe. Sauce Man, which one did you like? Which one did you like the most of the ones that you talked about?
Give me Dyson Daniels, PA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Against the Sixers.
Is
there a reason why you didn't take the PRA? You worried about his
just
rebound?
because if you look at the hit rates too, the PA hits in 55% of his last few games, whereas the other one PRA is 50%. And it's the potential assists that have been hitting a lot more than anything else. I do think that Onyeka has been doing a great job of rebounding the ball over the last few games. So I found the most advantage. And the 27.5 felt high to me at PRA. Whereas 20.5 for points and assists feels a little bit more reasonable.
I'm not seeing lines for this game right now because Trae Young got ruled out.
Yeah, that line's gonna inflate anyways. It's not coming out there, so I got value on that one. That's fantastic. Let's take Malik Monk then. We can take him at 5.5 too for like minus 140. I took the plus 130 line because obviously we don't eat no juice.
Yeah, sure.
Not on NBA props. Not with the way blowouts hit.
So 6+, right? Okay, for Monk. All right, 6 assists. Okay. We'll do one of my props, and then we'll find a side that we like just to throw it in there to finish us off. Which one of these RAs spoke to you guys the most of the 4 that I said?
Davion really spoke to me. I'm not gonna
every
lie.
every time you talk about Davion Mitchell, for sure.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, let's take Davion then. Let me
Okay.
make sure that I have him here. Where's this Heat game? There it is. All right, Davion. Damn, they don't have it available everywhere. That's so annoying. Let's take his assists.
Just the assists?
Yeah, because I mean, we could take the RA, but it's not available at every single book, and I want
Okay.
people to feel included, and if they want to tail, just for that reason.
Fair.
How do we still not have Luka News in 30 minutes from tip?
I don't know. That is pretty wild. That's crazy. All right, and then you said you like the Magic V, right? Plus
I
that
do. But I like the Kings more, but obviously we don't want to double down in that same game.
My plums were tickled when you said both of those, the Kings and the Magic.
I'm down to throw the Magic in there. I'm down.
Magic plus 4.5.
BetOlytics likes the Magic too. It's a 5-star play. Sorry for giving out that info, but plus 4.5. They love it.
Shout out BetOlytics.
Shout out BetOlytics.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna cut the hook with Davion, and I'm gonna see if we can take 5 because the 6 is sussing me out a little bit. Let me see if I can get the 5 here. It's probably a little juiced, but that's okay for the parlay. Yeah, I can get 5. Oh man, it's minus 210. You guys want to take 5 plus or 6 plus for Davion? 6 plus is plus 100.
Let's just do 6. Screw it.
Okay. I love when Shaggy makes these decisions.
Why not?
Sure. All right, so Bobby Moe money line, Malik Monk 6 assists, Orlando Magic plus 4.5, and then Davion Mitchell for 6 assists plus 10-10.
Rusty, just to make you feel better, it's the Memphis Grizzlies minus 3.5. Surely they beat the Suns all 4 times this season, right? Absolutely they do. 3.5. Minus 3.5. Memphis.
Surely.
Just before we get out of here, I just placed this right now because the number just dropped. Celtics team total over 122.5. It was sitting at 123. I was waiting for the Tatum news to come out because I didn't think he was going to play. But at 122.5, I just got that at minus 108. I like this line a lot. The C's have hit this line in 3 or 4 games without Jason Tatum this year. The offense still runs very smoothly. No JT, no KP, and no Al. And you're still telling me that this line is sitting at 122.5 points. The Jazz's defense is bottom 3 in the league. And the Celtics offense, as we've seen, can get hot at any time. They're playing at home in front of the fans, coming off of that big Lakers win in a game which they didn't score as many points as you would think. The Lakers defense may not have looked as good as people want to talk about, but they still held the Celtics to a low amount of points. This feels like one of those situations where you're carrying a heavy weight for like 6 or 7 reps, and then you grab that smaller weight, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, whoa, holy shit. You score a whole bunch of points. So give it over to 122.5 for that Celtics. A little early sweat.
And I made an executive decision before we get out of here too, because the over 7.5 for Davion Mitchell's RA is available almost everywhere. So chat, go get involved with sportsbetting.ag. Go BetOnline. Go find a book that does have the RA. If you don't have it on your book, play it somewhere else because it's available most other places. So that is plus 847 for Mitchell for over 7.5 RA, Malik Monk 6 assists, Orlando Magic plus 4.5, and then Bobby Moe money line plus 847. So you're not over the plus 1,000 mark, but I like the RA better than just the assists. So yeah, I know.
All right,
right?
Brandon, you fighting?
Color me shocked. Color me shocked.
Wild.
Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. It's all right. I texted these guys and said that I was accepting of the fact that the Titans are going to be atrocious again this season, and I've already accepted this now in April, and Vita immediately responded by saying, you're going to bet their spread week 1. Don't lie to us.
100%. You know that, Jack. You know that. This is a cycle. SPJ in the offseason, bleak. We're not looking good. SPJ by about September. Guys, hear me out on the over 6.5 total team wins, okay?
I'm never doing that again. I'm never doing that again. One of the worst switches I've ever placed in my entire life.
Yeah. Shags, before we get out of here, Montana State money line?
See, Padge, I kind of like Idaho State. and it's tough because Montana State was my little CBB sweetheart last year, and Idaho State kind of been my little CBB sweetheart this year. So I got to lean with the Bengals this year. I think Idaho State gets the job done.
All right.
That's a tough one, though. That's like asking me my favorite kid. And, it's definitely Freddie.
I'm excited to get the photo of you on vacation with your dog on your shoulder, like I posted on the timeline. Right. That needs to happen.
Getting Freddie fitted for a Hawaiian shirt right now.
Thank God. It needs to happen. All right, Chad, we appreciate you guys kicking in with us. This has been your afternoon BetSpresso right here on the Betting News Network, brought to you by our sponsors at sportsbetting.ag. Go follow Vsauce on Twitter if you're not already. Go follow Shaggy_Bets. Go follow myself at Sweatpants Jesus. Go follow all of us at Your Betting News. Go check out bettingnews.com for free sports betting info every single day. Reminder, that beautiful face right there and the mustache man will be live at 11 a.m. Eastern with you guys for an Up Your Units special time on Tuesday to get you ready to rock and roll into the conference tournaments tomorrow. So be sure to lock that in, and then we have Puckett as well in the evening time. So we appreciate you guys tapping in. Thanks so much for being here to finish off your Monday and enjoy the sweats tonight. You guys got anything else you want to throw out there, boys, before we get out of here?
No. Let's have a week, people.
Let's cash this bad boy.
Let's cash this.
You are a chief.
Espresso for. Yeah, for real. That would be crazy. You guys came for the winners. You stayed for the vibes. Look out for the parlay on the timeline. And these lads will see you guys in the morning. Have a great Monday night, everybody. Peace.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? Down in the deep.
Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here.
Rolling.
What you gonna do?
Rolling.
What you gonna do?
Down in the rolling.
What you gonna do? Right, y'all be loving this shit.
What you know about